Hello and good afternoon. Thank you, Claire, in chat. So as always, if you are joining us for the first time, this is a live stream, which means there is a live chat. You can open the chat. I leave it open for playbacks. And if you're here and you're not quite sure how to open it, click on the little live chat. Make sure you are not in top, but you're in live. And you can join everyone in the community that joins along and chat away. So as I say, thank you to those of you that are new. There's been an influx, I think, because everyone's at home. Hiya, Shannon. Hiya, everyone. Thank you so much. So yeah, hi Shelley. Thank you, Sharon. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Shannon. Hi, everyone. I'm still in that bubble, so if I'm not quite with it, you'll understand why. I did, Mel. I got engaged on my birthday. I don't know if you can see. Hold on. Oops. Yep, it happened. It happened. Hi, Kenny. Hiya, Mum. Hi, Lozzie and Pat. Oh, thank you. Hi, Helly. Yes, I did. It was a very unexpected surprise. Hi, Debs. Thank you. And hi, Laura. So, as I said, we've had a massive, humongous influx of new subs. And I think it's because everyone is at home. Hiya, Paintly. Or Painty Girl, as Dee Dee calls you. Hi, April. Hi, Sue. Oh, congratulations, Mel. Oh, thank you, Elizabeth, and hi. Hiya, Cassie. I know. I'm so excited. I'm just like, when's the wedding? I've been waiting this long. I'm racing down the aisle. Hiya, Miyaki, and everyone coming on in. I even bought a wedding planner. And then I've also got, for my two ladies, I've also bought my cards already. I can't believe I'm one of these people that's buying stuff to do with their engagement and their wedding to be. I'm now one of those people. I'm like, oh, I'm so excited. Hiya, Candace. Thank you so much. Hiya, Anna. Yeah, so today I thought I would do I haven't done a Forest Girl in so long, and I was flicking through all my books and I wasn't quite sure what I fancied, and then I come across this one and I really liked this. I'll show you the finished one. I really fancied this because it's very spring summer like. Oh, Mel, your one took a while as well. Yeah, 15 and a half years. Hi, Andrea. Hi, Melody. Hi, everyone. Hi, Joanne. Yeah, it was, I'm still all like, oh, I can't believe it. I really can't. Hiya, Romy. Hiya, Christina. I'm still like, but now I can't wear the thumb ring because it makes that hand look less elegant, so I have to just wear that now. Yeah, they're gorgeous, aren't they, sunflowers? Hey, Annabelle I used to go to school with. Hiya, honey, how are you? Annabelle's in Spain. I used to go to school with Annabelle. I didn't know you came over here, honey. Hi. Hi, Louise. Hi, Gracelyn. Hi, Della. Hi, everyone. Wow, there's so many. So many of you. Good afternoon. Yes, I'm so excited. So now I get all that. Now I'm in lockdown and everyone's in lockdown. We can start planning. So I'm like, ooh. Yeah, yeah, I thought so as well. I was like, when's it going to happen? You hear me? Still hubby, not hubby though. But yeah, I really want to do this. And also, just a quick heads up if you wasn't sure, Joanna Basford has a brand new free book, a free printable. Ooh, thank you, Gracelyn. And it is called Flourish. And I think I can't remember how many pages it is, but I'll show you if you've not seen it. So she did this as a mini inky adventure for everyone who's at home, and she's been doing a lot of live streams. Remember, we've been watching them all over. Yeah, I know. Thank you. So this is super cute. If those of you who are at home and you wanted something to print out, she has done this for everyone. Are you still doing art? Yeah, this is a beautiful little thing that she's put together. It's like a mini booklet. It's like a novella part. You know, you get a big novel and you get the little mini novella at the side. Oh, how nice. And Kelly O'Gorman has given permission to print her A to Z colouring book for free. That is so nice of her. So this is also available if you go to Joanna Basford's website. And for those of you who've got little kiddos at home, I've also found something out this morning which will be quite helpful to every one of you who have children at home in this. So on Disney's UK, so Disney Shop, let me just quickly show you because it will be really, really helpful. So those of you who are in the UK, I don't know if it's in the US as well, but if you go to Disney Shop UK, or Disney Store UK, on their, I'll show you, on their website, they have something new. So let me just turn my lighting down so I can show you. So, they have like a, if you go to the home and stationery and you go to see all home and stationery, if you go to the stationery section, there is an arts and crafts bit. Let me show you. So here it says Destination Imagination. If you go click to find out more, they're totally free. You can download now the Frozen 2 activity booklet, the Good Dinosaur booklet, the Princess activity booklet, and Puppy Dog Pals. And they're all available now. Ah, Annabelle, I'm so excited to see you. Oh my goodness. As I said, me and Annabelle have known each other since we were 11. We went to school together, but she went and flew off and lived in sunny Spain. And as long as you're all keeping safe in your family as well, because I know you in Spain have not had a good time with it. So it's so exciting. Hi Gary, hi everyone coming on in, a big welcome. So yeah, that's another thing. So if you've got kids and you want something free to download, go and download that. You will find that in the store in the stationery section, and it's completely free. And as the weeks are going on, they're adding more. They're just small mini things, but they will do. You know, everything is completely free right now because they're trying to help. What with little ones being at home, and mums need, and dads, you all need a bit of a break. So put that in front of them. They should be good. So yeah, thank you also to every one of you. You're so sweet who sent birthday wishes and the PayPal. That was so amazing of you. I have ordered some Diamond Art Club, which is terrible of me. I know. And Honor sent these, and I've never tried these before. These are the Prisma Colors, and I've already thanked Honor. Me and Honor have been good friends for a while. And they're the Verithins, and I've never tried them, and these are the colours that you get in the Verithin, and it's got 36 in here. I think they're quite a hard point, which will be good for hair, so I'm going to have a go with some hair with these, because harder pencils are really nice for hair and anything that you need to put down some detailing in, so it doesn't go all soft and crumbly on your detailing. Yes, I know. Oh. Yes, we need some light in this, don't we? Because you know I got married as well. You did it at the right time. But yeah, so those of you, how has your weeks been? What have you all been doing? Have you all been keeping yourself occupied? The weather is really nice now, so that will be super. Although people are not staying at home, they're going out when they shouldn't be, which is another matter. But if you are keeping to the rules and you're in your gardens, that shall be nice. Okay, as I said, I really want to do this one because it's so summery. This is called Like a Sunflower. It is in the First Forest Girl by Aeppol. I think that's how you say her name. And I'm pretty much going to follow similar colours, not exact, like we did on another one in the other book. But I really fancied this today. Oh, thank you, Gracelyn. Hi, Zeely. Hi, everyone. Welcome. Okay, so I just need to take my tape off these to stop them from keep falling out. I've had a couple of mistakes. where I've actually dropped my Neos on the floor and they've come out of the tin. So I put some tape on them to stop that from happening. It is Sue. I have to finally have you hear me how many times over the years? How many times have you heard me say, he's still not got down on one knee? Yes, that is. It's a ring. Hello, Gabby. Hi, Anna. I was just talking of you. How are you, hon? Yeah, sunflowers are gorgeous, and we need something summery and gorgeous in our lives right now. So I've gone for the sunflowers, and I'm just trying to get this tape off of my Neos. Oh, nice, Pamela. That's good news. Although, still be safe. We still want you safe and well. So, but hiya, Kirsty. That's okay, hon. Lurk away. Do what you need to, people. If you've got work to do, if you've got housework to do, I'm on in the background. That's fine. Ah, thank you, Jane. You're so sweet, everyone. Okay, so we're going to be doing some Neos today. Oh, I'm sorry, Lozzie. I know, it's hard for you. Lozzie in chat. For those of you that are new, Lozzie is, bless her, she's a friend of the channel big time, and she wants Neos. Okay, so we're going to get our board, and we need our side that has some rougher edge, and we need some yellows, but I really like some tamed down yellows rather than some bright canaries. So I'm going to get a couple of mixes. I think I'm going to go for one canary. We'll go for an orangish yellow just because that's nice and toned, or we could go for the Sahara. I'll have a look on my board. And then we need something really pale. We've got a pale yellow. Okay, so if you're going to put in some orange streaks, there are some nice with like saffron. You're so funny, Lozzie. Oh, Lulu, there it is. Can you see it? Will it focus? There it is. Yes, I'm so happy. I'm still in my bubble. I'm not quite with it. I'm really not. Like, I'm not on top form at all. Because I'm still like, oh, yep, it's still there. I woke up the next morning and I was like, oh, is it still there? Is it still on the finger? And then I messaged my friend and I'm like, it's still there. It's still there. And she was just like, yes, Sam. I was like, I told you, I'm just going to be like this for a while. I screamed down, like, I'll tell you the story. So do you want to hear the engagement story? Okay, I'll tell you what I'm putting on the board. I'll bring you down so you got nice and close up. And I'll try and get you in. Okay, let me tell you the story. So, woke up birthday morning before I get on. I'll find my cards for these in the meantime. Okay, so are you all buckled in for this story? Because I've been wanting to tell a story like this for a long time. So I woke up in the morning and I sat down and made myself a cup of tea like I usually do. You know, the usual routine in the morning. And Andrew got up a little bit later than me, and that's fine. You know, that's usual at the moment. And then I sat there and he came in and he was like all normal and natural. And then that was after he'd been disappearing for about half an hour. And I thought, okay, nothing of it. And I was like, good morning. He's like, good morning, happy birthday. I was like, thank you so much, love you, blah, 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 blah. And then he was like, okay. And he went off. He come back in. And then he said, okay, stand up. And he pulled me up. He's like, stand there, close your eyes. So I closed my eyes and I'm thinking, okay. So then I'm standing there and I'm thinking, what's happening? And then all I hear is Ed Sheeran, Perfect, come on, like in the background. And I was like, my legs started to shake then. And I thought, oh, I think this is going to happen, but I don't know. So I didn't say anything. And I was just standing there thinking, is it, isn't it? And then all I can hear is Andrew like adjusting himself in front of me. And then he said, okay, open your eyes. And I opened my eyes and there he is, bawling his eyeballs out and shaking. And I mean, shaking like a leaf, like couldn't stop. And he's holding this box in front of me. And then he said the words, will you marry me? And I was like, straight away, I won't pierce your ears, but I went, the top of my lungs. And I went, yes! I was just like, oh my goodness. So I think I've got them all. Yeah. And I was like, yes, of course. I screamed down his left ear, bless him. And then, yeah, that was that for that minute. And then we let the song play out. You know, you usually do. You have a cuddle and blah, blah, blah. And then I was just like straight on the FaceTime to Mum, like, Mum, look. I said, Mum, because my mum, when you FaceTime her, this is Mum's face. This is the phone. And I'm like, Mum, lift your phone up in front of your face like that. So I was like, Mum, phone, lift it up. So she lifts it up and then, yeah, bless her heart. She's like there and I went, look, we got engaged. And then she's like, same as me, screaming her head off. And yeah, that was, and then from that, we told the, you know, close friends and family first. And then I'm going to use a brush, normal brush for now. We told friends and family first, as you do, and then you put it up as an announcement. So we did that. And then it didn't stop. And I had so many messages. So thank you so much. Oh, thank you. So, and then straight away I was like, right, I'm getting a wedding planner. I'm getting this. I'm getting that. And I was like, on it. The same night I got a wedding planner. I was like, I can't believe it. Okay, just to let you know, I've got my water. I've got a little clean one, and this one's going to be my dirty water. I've got a 0.3 brush, which is a fine detailed one. Just damp it and have your towel at the side. Okay, so yeah, that was that. And then, you know, as it goes, you kind of just in that bubble all day. And then I kept looking at my finger going, oh, is it real? Is it real? Is it there? Is it real? And I kept saying, oh, I can't believe it. And then Andrew's just like, all day, okay, future wife, okay, future fiance, okay, future wife, okay, fiance, okay, future wife. And I'm like, I can't get used to it. And I'm going around all morning going, I've got a ring. I've got a ring. 15 years later, I have a ring. And then he's just like, oh God. And then we had a movie day, but I didn't get around to watching as many movies because my phone was, you know, non-stop, as you do, because you've let the news out and the congratulations pour in and you can't help but look. Then we went quickly on Vicky's stream. And then we just putting down some yellow first, and I'll put some pale yellow towards the end. And yeah, we were just sort of soaking up that time, that day. But I watched a film called Last Christmas with Emilia Clarke. I loved that. I'm a bit of a soppy romantic anyway, so I loved that film. Then I was going to watch all these other films, but I couldn't concentrate because I was just in such a bubble that it all went to absolute down the toilet pan, you know, just didn't happen. And then yesterday we watched, you know, in the cinema, they're now doing it on Amazon Prime. So anything that was in the cinema is now released on Amazon Prime for $15.99. So we watched The Invisible Man. That was really good. Thank you so much, everyone. All right, so we should be back. We should be back and we should have sound. Okay, so I'm going to carry on with Sahara Yellow just for a minute, and we'll do these top few. We will mix these colours up a little bit. So we're just doing our base at the moment. We're just going to do some watercolouring because I just feel like something easy, something nice that's easy to flow. And as I said, all honesty, I can't really concentrate on anything at the moment. I'm finding it incredible. Anyone that's been there will know what I mean. You're in this little bubble and it's very hard to concentrate on anything. Hence why diamond painting has been a blessing, because you don't have to think with that. You can just put the diamonds on and away you go. But yeah, it was an absolutely just surprise. I wasn't expecting it because I've been saying it for ages. I'd lost hope. So, okay, we got another one there. So we're going for the Sahara Yellow still. And we will put some depth in these. We're just getting some nice pale yellow. And the Sahara Yellow is a really pale tone. We might not need the pale yellow. I think this is pale enough. And we can start to mix in. And we need to get our heat gun out. But I really fancy something nice and easy today. Oh, thank you. Yes. Okay. Thank you so much. See, I know I needed someone. So there is a new channel in town and she's done an amazing pirate. I think it's Matt Davidson's. Am I right? I think it's Matt Davidson's. And her name is Art with Karen Valentine. Let me show you a new channel. So those of you who do like the colouring channels, this is a brand new one that I've just been shown by Mandy. So just a little shout out that there is a new one. She's called Colouring Art by Karen Valentine, and she's done a pirate girl. So just have a look at that lovely channel. Go support her. There's always a new one. Hi, Nana. Thank you so much. He did. And you'll find myself sitting there doing that a lot, like, oh. Oh, thank you, Connie. Thank you so much, everyone. Yes, it happened. It's a shame that it's not your right hand because it'll be in the screen a lot more. If I was left-handed, then I would be fine. But it's not. It's the wrong hand. So I hope everyone is doing well and dandy. Yes, I am so happy. And those of you that are, married and you've done it and you've been there, you know what I mean. If it gets to that day and you're totally surprised, you have that moment, don't you, of just complete, like, euphoria of, and that you're in shock partially as well, if you didn't expect it and they didn't let in on it happening. So you're kind of in a bit of both. So yes, I'm so super excited. Okay, so we are having a nice relaxed easy colouring session today, and as I said, we are using Neo 2s, and I am using not water brushes just because it will put too much water on the page. This is not the premium edition. This is the first book, and what happens is that it can buckle quite a lot. So I'm not going to apply too much water down with this. In the other book I do it with water brush. It's just so much easier, but I think it's easier to control the water if you do it with a normal brush where you can control the amount of water that you have on your brush, which is not a lot, by the way. So we're just adding the first layer in, and we'll start layering up as well as we go along. So you need your water brush, and you just tap off a little bit. Water on your brush, sorry. And just a tiny bit at a time, just tap off. And the good thing is with this, you can layer and layer and layer this way, quite easy. So you can get that pigment going. And yeah, I've also been playing, I don't know if you know, or if you're a gamer, I'm not a gamer, I have the odd game that I will play. And I've just got the Resident Evil 3 on the Xbox. I'm very fussy with games, I very rarely play, but when I do, it's got to be a game that I'm super interested in. So Resident Evil 3 came out, Susie told me, and I was like, how did I not know? So I've been started that this morning. And that's fun, and I was actually playing it up till I started streaming, and I thought, oh my gosh, the time, I can't believe the time, it's stream time. You get lost in this complete haze when you're on anything other than just sitting there. And yeah, that's if you are a Resident Evil fan and you're from the 90s, there is a brand new release. They remade it, remastered it, and it is out there. Okay, so we've got the first coat down. Oh, hi, Nelly. Yes, I am well. Thank you so much. How are you all doing? Okay, let's start putting a little bit more colour in. The ends are going to be a nice light light colour. So I'm going to put some orangish yellow, and I'm going to put some saffron, and I'm going to mix those two. Okay, so the two are going to be mixed. Let's bring you up a tad so that you can see both of them. Okay, so with that, just at the side, I'm going to take a bit of both, just at the side of each, and you can pull down some of that Sahara Yellow into it as well, and you get this gorgeous tone there of this orangey yellow, which is kind of what I'm looking for. And again, just bring some more pigment in, and that's roughly what I'm looking for. This is the first forest scale, so it should be in, I will put all the details, I'll lift it up so you can see it. So this is the book, it's Forest Scale by Aeppol. I'll put everything in the description after the stream. There you go. Okay, so we're going to put both of these in, they're both Neos. And I've mixed them to the side, and we're going to start to layer that in, but I need this at the very side of me here. So I'm just going to start applying that into the sunflowers here. I'm going to do a nice watery background, I think, you know, where you put the both quite watered down and you sort of put it all around the background. I think we're going to do that, like the side. Okay, so I'm going to try and wipe off and blend out. Now what I'm going to do also is bring some more yellow in, because they're like an ochred yellow, but we've got to just put some of this gorgeous sort of orange, not too deep tone just into there. And as we layer up, we're going to put a little bit more of the ochred yellow. So I'm not going to be on a heck of a long time today. We're going to do this in parts, and I'm going to do a couple of the sunflowers now. I do the leaves as well, but today's going to be a shorter stream, but I will be back Tuesday, and hopefully I'll do a bit of a longer one. I'm going to put some Sahara Yellow at the side and just put a tiny bit into there. Just because because we didn't do much on that Tuesday apart from being a bubble, we've kind of been spreading out what we were going to do that day. So as I said, we've been doing like date nights, which has been fun, and I just want to enjoy that that engagement bubble that we're sort of in at the moment. Because it only happens once, and I know you've all been there, it happens once, and you want to just lap it all up because it doesn't happen again. It's not going to happen again. We're not going to have this time again. So we were saying, it's so nice to kind of be that way and have that time. So we're still in that kind of tone. I know, you know what I'm on about. But yeah, if there's anything for me, remember to pop it in caps so I see it. I'm just taking my time, and we'll layer this up to be a bit more ochred, but I'm just putting the middle tone in. So just like a orangey colour. I might do a whip and chat actually. So I don't ever do filmed stuff. Just because I prefer an audience, like, to talk to, because I think it's just boring sitting on my own. Where I can talk with friends, it's a bit different. And I always see that it's like time with friends. It is time with friends for me, and I know for you guys it is as well. So talking to myself is always a little bit dull. I don't enjoy it. I enjoy sitting talking with you because we've been friends for so long now, all of us. It's a nicer thing to sit with you guys rather than sit on my own. And that's fine, there's lots and lots of people do like that whole whip and chat thing where they like to sit and talk to them. I'm not one of those people. I just much prefer to talk to you. So I might do one whip and chat, where I do a little bit more on this and try and just talk in general about, you know, things that are up and coming, because I've been looking at some different bits that people are trying to do to keep us entertained. We've got the mermaid thing coming. I want to introduce some bits into a video, so I will do that. It's just that, as I said, we're all in this little, bubble. Hiya Emily, how are you? Connie. Was that because of too much wine? Okay, so I'm just going to put a tiny bit of the saffron now. So just the saffron at the side and just some very fine strokes. And then we're going to bring some yellows. So just tiny little strokes. Hello, Michelle. Of course I can, Nelly. It's there. There it is. Can you see it? It's funny, Kenny, because it's one of the most vivid things now for me. It's like in my brain as one of my all-time favorite moments, and it's funny because I can picture him standing there. I know it's only the other day, but his emotion that he poured into it was just so cute. And I didn't think he would be the man to bawl his eyeballs out, but he did. I didn't think he'd be that man. I don't know what I thought. I was giving up hope of it happening, to be fair, but I didn't think that he would be that man. Thank you so much, Christiane. Yeah, he put all his emotion and all his love into it, and it was just so sweet. And I said, oh my gosh, what are you going to be like when you finally get down the aisle? You're going to be that man who crumbles down at the bottom of the altar. You're going to be that man when he has his baby that bawls his eyeballs out. You're going to be that man. He was like, oh no. I was like, yes. Yes, you are. Thank you, Leela. But, you know, I'm not a big fan of big macho things. I much prefer men that do. They don't like, oh, I'll never cry. It's, yeah, no. You just got to let how you feel take over. If you don't cry, you don't cry. But if you want to, then allow it. Don't stop it. You know, it's a lovely thing. It's a natural reaction. It's supposed to. It's your you spend that life with the person. It's gonna happen, right? Okay, let's put some ochre in with some yellow. So let's do a nice ochre tone, and let's mix in some canary yellow. So let's put that, and let's see what happens with that. So we've got those two together. Oh, see, Kenny shook as well. Oh, bless him. See, it's because they're nervous, although they know you're going to say yes. I mean, imagine if I said no after all that time of hassling him, of when are you finally going to do it? Okay, so I'm mixing that's perfect. Okay, so that's the perfect tone. So just getting some water into that. And it's like a yellow ochre colour. Amazing, okay. So with that, I just need to add some pale yellow. There we go. Perfect. Okay. So we added these three. So ochre, canary yellow, and pale yellow. Just all three of those were mixed. And we're just going to add that in to the ends. Sort of on the very ends, let's add in this gorgeous colour. Oh, hiya, whoops, I did it again, and thank you so much. I always find that so bizarre when people say that to me, because I never anticipated, I know I said this so many times, I was happy at, you know, just a few people, and I was like, oh, no one's gonna watch me. And then we somehow got here, and then when I get new subscribers, and thank you, by the way, so very much, I said that at the beginning, and I think, okay, well, it's just some source of entertainment because we've all got the same hobby, but I never anticipate when people say that to me, and I think, oh my goodness, thank you so much. So thank you for watching and listening to my voice. Oh my goodness. Hey Karen, that's okay. Your pirate is stunning, and Mandy told me about you this morning, and of course I'm going to say, you know, go show some support. We've got a fellow colorist, and we're all in it together. It's not like anyone is any different to the next person. It doesn't matter whether you've got 100 subscribers or 1,000 or 10,000. Everyone is exactly the same. We're all here for the same hobby. So I wish you success, and I look forward to the rest what you've got to come up with, because your pirate is gorgeous. And yeah, good luck. Hey Becky. Hi anyone I may have missed. Welcome over, and hi. I hope you're having a good day. Well, good morning for those of you in the US. Hope you didn't, and sorry the pun, I had to laugh at this, and I hope no one takes offence to it. I hope no one's gone and infected any disinfectant, injected. No one go doing that. I saw that and I was like, oh my goodness. Don't be doing that. Don't be following that advice. just don't. No one. Just don't do it. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I am at the moment anyway. I am most of the time, you know I am. But no, at the moment I am on a little bit of a fluffy cloud. So, and as I said, I am not with it at all. So just bear with me. I'll be back on top form soon, I promise you. I just, I'm in my own little world at the moment. Okay, let's get some of that nice, gorgeous tone. So we've mixed some colours. I know, I couldn't help it. I hope no one takes offence to that. But I was just like, please don't anyone follow that advice. I don't care who or where you are in the world. Just no one should be listening to that. You know, like him or not, just don't listen to that. Don't be injecting anything. Oh my God. Oh, hiya Zoe. Just don't. I know. I watched it back, Pamela, the next day, and I went, no. Did I hear right? Oh my gosh. I was like, what planet is he on that statement? Don't be doing that. But the sad thing is, some people are very gullible, not you know, to be rude, but there are some people who will listen. And I thought, you can't be saying that as a leader. You just can't. Oh dear. I was like, no, and no. Just don't ingest it. Oh, hi Samantha. Hi everyone coming in. Okay, so we've got some nice tones going on them. And at the side, if you have a look, there's some orange and yellow tone, and they're not overly complicated, which is a good thing. Okay, so for the middle, we need a brown. And then we need some lovely greens. Oh, Zoe, bless your hearts. Oh, seriously. Anyway, let's move on from that. But I was just having a joke. We're not having politics, I promise. It was just a joke about disinfectant. But yeah, we're not going to talk about the political side of it, just the funny side of that. Okay, let's go for Toledo Brown and Van Dyke Brown. This is in Forest Scale. I will put all the... Where is my things that I need? Toledo Brown. I'll put the links in the description after the stream is finished. Okay, so Van Dyke Brown. Where's Toledo Brown? Toledo, where are you? You have done a... Oh, there it is. I found it. Okay, let's put, this is Van Dyke Brown and Toledo Brown. Let's put a little bit of a mixture, and I'm not putting much pigment on, just a tiny little bit. And let's start off with the middle. So we'll start off with the Toledo, which is there, and I'm going to get a slightly bigger brush. So this one is a 3. You see that? And I'm just going to go for the Toledo first, and we're just going to go straight over the middle. We need quite a little bit of water just to get that all over. Now, don't oversaturate your page, because this paper is not like the premium edition. This one is like the normal sort of papers you get in colouring books, whereas the other one, let's go for down here as well. The other one has got a lot more tolerance for water. Shannon, it's fine. This one doesn't, but that's fine. You know, you can kind of judge your papers. This one's got a little bit less tolerance, but it still does pretty well. So I'm going to go for now the Van Dyke, and need a little bit more. And let's go for more of a coverage. Oh, theory. I mean, if theory is usually on more art channels, let's mix in a bit more. What colour theory? But you can also buy a lot of books on Amazon. Colour combinations are one of those things I think you just pick up. So the more colouring videos you watch, so live streams or pre-recorded or colour alongs like Chris Cheng's, the more you do, the more it naturally will sort of come to you. Oops. So that is something I think is learned, but colour combinations is also, you can get the Sarah Renee Clark colour catalogue, which has a large selection of colouring palettes, and it kind of gives you a theory of what colours sort of match with another. So that comes, I think, with a little bit of time. But saying that, there isn't many videos that I know of that shows you colour theory. It's just more, it's more sort of doing the colouring and then bit by bit. Okay, my Toledo has actually got a split down it. Okay, let's do a little bit more on there. Now, I will just do all the sunflowers, you know, in my free time. I'm just adding a bit of the Toledo, but I just want to do 1 or 2. And I'll do the same colours for each. But as I said, I think I'm going to do a whip and chat, because I haven't done one of those in forever. I don't really do them because I just much prefer live streams. But that way it won't sort of go over anyone else's. Okay, so I'm going to go away from the light area. So light area is still covered, and I'm going to get the heat gun. Okay. But if you've got any, what I'm going to say as well, if you've got any particular videos, now I can't fulfill them all, but if there's any videos that you are really interested in, leave me an email and I will try and get through some of them. So if there's a particular thing that you really, really needed help with, or there's things that you would like me to do, I'm just saying I might not get around to them, but it just give me some ideas of the kinds of things that you really want me to cover, and I will do my best. Okay, let's get some greens. So let's go for some moss greens. But yeah, my email is in the description. Oh, Pamela, I ordered a few. So I ordered a couple of two Mandys. I'll show you in a second. I ordered a couple. So let me just get a couple of greens. So olive, moss greens. Let's go for some mossy green types. I've got to find them. I ordered, well, they're pre-orders. So a lot of them do go out, don't they? And I wasn't a member. So it's going to take a while to get to me. Night, Melody. Yeah, I'm just a colouring channel. I do unboxings and I might do the odd review, but I'm not an artist or anything. So, I mean, artists are pretty good at that type of thing, or people that may have done classes in colour theory. I just really have fun with mine, to be honest. I just like to have fun and see what happens when I put colour down on paper. That's pretty much my motto. It's just have fun. Let's go for a light olive. Okay, so let's start off with a darker green. So we'll go for some olive. And I'm just honest on that. I like to kind of inspire people to kind of just go out of their comfort zone sometimes, pick up things. I do a lot of stuff on the channel as well that I've never done before, so we're doing it together for the first time. This is just like more of a community channel as well. I really like to get the community involved, and that's why the live streams are so important over here, is because you know, we're like a big community. And we really have fun with each other. Okay, so I'm going to go for some olives on there. We'll deepen up and add more detail as we go. So don't forget that you need to wipe off a little bit on your cloth. And we're going to start to lay in a bit of colour. I hope this is going to focus. So this is not going to go over the whole thing. I'm just going to come into some. And let's bring that some down here. So we've got to do more layering up. Which Disney page, Gracelim? You're so funny, Lozzie. I really am not. You know I'm not. I just enjoy the hobby so much. Okay, let's put in some of this gorgeous green. So you just might need a tiny bit more of the water. So we will just kind of take our time. Did you download the new Joanna Basford, Emily? I think I saw you did the turtle, am I right? I can't remember if that was you. I'm pretty sure it was you. So in which case you would have done, but I can't remember if it was you or somebody else that had done it, because I've seen quite a few colourings out of it. And that's completely free. So if you like Joanna Basford, or you wanted to, or you haven't bought any of her books but you were tempted to try it, it's actually pretty good because it'll give you a bit of a teaser. Okay, so we're just starting off with this green because we're going to mix in some others. So it's just to get you started. And then what you can do is water down, and then you can sort of spread out a little bit. And that's the good thing with watercolour. You can layer up, you can spread out, you can water right down. And just, you can add detail in with pencils after, which is what I probably will do. Just a little bit. Yeah, you're so quick. Yes, Elizabeth, I'm not everyone here knows I'm not a background person. I don't particularly enjoy doing them unless they are very loose and they're simple. I don't hold the talents behind me to do that, and we've all got our weaknesses and strengths. Backgrounds is a huge weakness for me, and I kind of learn as I go along with them. I don't I don't know. Everyone's got that something they either don't enjoy or don't grasp. What is yours? Mine is very much backgrounds. I just find I get stuck on them because I don't want to ruin stuff. That's generally what it is. It's because I've done the entire picture. I might be happy with the outcome, and then I'm absolutely petrified that I'm going to just completely mess up what I'm doing, and you end up just in a bit of a sort of pickle over it all because you're just not sure if you want to go one way or the other on it. And then I just end up keeping it simple. Oh my gosh, Lozzie, honestly, I fear them. Fur I'm getting better with, but I fear backgrounds. Okay, let's get some more water on that. And we're going to layer up, and that's the good thing, we can layer. So I'm just taking a bit of pigment and then a bit of water. So what I tend to do is leave some water here on the side so I can play with it, so that I can drag some pigment down but not too much, and then keep a highlighted area. Lozzie. Oh my goodness. Are you still at home or are you back at work? Are you feeling better? I know quite a few of you were, had little symptoms that you weren't quite sure about and you had to isolate, but I hope you're feeling better. And whilst you're at home, I know Louise, Lou is doing her diamond paintings while she's at home, and she showed me the Hannah Lynn one that I'd ordered, which is the Snow Princess, her finished version, and it's just so beautiful, and I'm so glad I ordered it now, because seeing the final result is exactly what I needed, because it's just sort of clarified that I've made the right choice. Okay, so as you can see, I'm just kind of playing around now. I'm getting some of this olive, and I'm putting where I want darker pigments, and you can see where it's drying, there's lighter areas, so that we'll play around with that. Watercolour I love. I absolutely love it. So my next project is, well, I've got a few watercolour projects that's going to be in the making very soon. That's with Kirsty Partridge, and one of them is a tiger, and I've sketched that out onto a watercolour, Arches watercolour paper, cold pressed, 300 gram. So I've got that, and a bumblebee, and I've also got a landscape ready to go as well. I absolutely love watercolour. I like to use the Cotmans as well. And the good thing is it's so forgiving. So you start off like this, and then you can layer up, and that's one thing that Kirsty teaches you as well. So you're layering, it can go on and on and on, and don't be afraid to do it. It is like, I'd say it's like pencils. If you are used to pencils, I'd say after a little while, where you grasp blending, shading, layering, you do and apply those things with, I'd say you apply them a lot of the time with, I'm just going to get some more olive, with watercolour, but it's just controlled with water. Oh, Connie, did you see the tiger? That's what I'm going to be doing with the Albert Durers next. So she teaches you a lot of that, and you can allow drying time, or you can do a heat gun, or however you want to. Just bear in mind with heat guns, they do make the paper buckle, whereas drying on its own less buckle, I think. Has anyone else experienced that? So when you allow things to dry, air dry, and just leave it for a little while, go and do your dinner or whatever you're doing, or leave it overnight, come back the next day. Remember, art's not anything to rush. Art can be something that you just take your time with, and allow something to just take progress as and when you do bits on it. It's not a race. If you want something to be, how you vision it, there is no harm in taking your time with it. And I think that's another thing, you know, sometimes we just want to get something done so quick so we can move on to the next project. The next project's going to be there come rain or shine. It's just that we have to take our time with it. And I found that, you know, with certain things I wanted to rush through. And I think with watercolour, whilst it's wet, you need to be fairly quick. With pencil work, you can take all the time in the world. Yes, Vicky of a heat gun. She's probably having a nice day off because she streams quite a bit, and I got to watch yesterday's back because, as I said, me and Andrew spent a day yesterday again, and we watched The Invisible Man. So anyone that was wanting to watch The Invisible Man, that's in the cinema, but it's on Amazon Prime at the moment, it's absolutely great. I loved it. I love that sort of mind game suspense, and she played the part of that so very well. So I loved it. I thought it was brilliant. So you can rent that at home rather than, because you know we can't go to the cinema obviously, so we can rent that at home, and I loved it. Okay, let's layer up a bit more. You see it starts to take shape, and if you look opposite, the greens will be, it's sort of similar, isn't it? And that's what's going to happen. So we'll layer up a little bit at a time and take our time with it. So we're going to get a slightly lighter tone in there, and you don't have to use another green. You can actually use a yellow. So you can get your Sahara Yellow in on this and just mix in Sahara Yellow with some of that gorgeous. And this is another thing that I love about watercolor. You can mix so much easy. It's so much easier, sorry, English Sam. So just get that sort of light green tone. And it goes to like an olive yellow. And you might need a little bit more. And that's the good thing with watercolour, is mixing is just a lot easier. See, colours will layer up with colour pencil easier. I find with watercolour it's a lot easier to mix. What's that, Lou? The renting, yeah, just while we have the pandemic. I'm guessing that The Invisible Man, yeah. So that's all the cinema ones are currently available on Amazon when it comes out because of the pandemic. That is going to go back to normal when the pandemic's over. So that the thing is, we made it all comfortable and, you know, etc. And you can have your own comfort. You can have the dog on your lap, the cat on your lap, whatever pet that you've got. You can have your feet up with the hubby or the wife, and you can just chill out. But the cinema's a cinema, isn't it? And you have a different experience in the cinema. And I quite liked having it at home, if I'm honest. So yeah, it was really good. It was full of suspense. It was full of mind games. It was full from the beginning of kind of thing, and oh my god, what's going to happen next? And it had a great ending. I won't tell you anything else, but I absolutely loved it. So I'm going to put a bit of a lighter yellowy tone in there, but for now let's mix in this Sahara Yellow and Olive. Yeah, it was really good, really good. And if you like suspense films, I think you'll like it. I don't think there's pretty much anything else. Oh, and the other film that we're going to rent is the new Jumanji. I don't know if anyone's seen that. I absolutely love Kevin Hart. I love The Rock, and I love the combination of the both. So that's another one that you can rent. That is not in the cinema, it's been in the cinema, but you can rent that on Amazon, or if you're in the UK, Sky, and that is £5, I believe, to rent, or you can buy it. But the thing is, at the moment, it's quite nice to rent movies because you're not clogging the system up of deliveries with non-essentials, because I truly believe that they need to go to like food and essential items, especially for the vulnerable at the moment. And also, when this is all over, if you liked it, you can buy it. Are you hot, Shelley? Where are you, hun? Are you in the UK? I'm sure you are, aren't you? I hope the weather is keeping good where you are. Okay, I'm going to get some of this yellow mix that we had over here, because that would be pretty cool going into this at the edges. And when it dries, it will have this gorgeous tone. Okay. I really like those colours. They're mixing beautifully. And that's another thing, watercolour looks so loose. You know what I mean? It's not so, like, I'm with coloured pencils, it's so controlled. And it takes a while to get used to losing that control with watercolour, because the water does move it and you haven't got full control. And that's another thing that quite a lot of people don't like to make the transition over because of that. But that's not a bad thing. It's quite a good thing. It gives you another thing to play with. Hello, Iselina. It is. How are you? Hey, Bridget. Okay, let's dry those off. Let's pull you up a little bit. Oh, is it warm in the north of Wales? Yeah, it's pretty nice here at the minute. Okay. Let that dry off for a second. Let's deepen that up a little bit. And I'm going to use a deeper brown just for that. So it's a good, I like the way they're coming out. Yes, Jumanji, I absolutely love those two together anyway. And it's got Danny Glover and Robert, what's his name, Andrew? Danny DeVito, couldn't think of the name. It's got Danny DeVito in it as well. And you can't beat those sort of old funny characters that has been on our screens for the longest time. So yeah, and I love anything like that anyway. Okay, I need another table. I haven't got enough space. That might stay there for me. Okay, so I'm going to get some raw umber and I'm just going to put it at the very side. I am okay. How are you? Okay, so let's get some of that raw umber and let's place some extra depth into this part. I'm going to go on the underneath and then into the middle. Just wipe off a little bit and spread some of that out. And, oops, and into the edge here. Just give it an extra bit of depth. And then anywhere that you, right, what else I'm going to do? Anywhere on the stem that you want to deepen, grab that raw umber and in a very fine line, just give some shadow. Sort of coming into the areas that you want to deepen. So raw umber goes in and it pretty well mixes with, let's get that out, mix that in, with sort of mossy tones and olive tones and any of those kinds of beautiful tones that you can get. So I'm just kind of allowing a little bit more of a, especially on this bit underneath, there's like a little bit of shadow, and then on the underneath there. And then again, we're going to do the same, get some water on it, just allow some of that brown into this area and just layer up where you want it to go. So just an extra dimension in there. Hiya, Laura. That's okay, Annabelle, you do what you have to, hon. As I said, I'm always in the background. I'm so happy you're here. Andrew, Annabelle that I used to go to school with, we were such good friends. She came to my 21st that time as well, is in the chat. It's amazing, isn't it? I know, I'm like, ah! She lives in Spain now. She went to Spain a few years back, got married. But yeah, after, not that long after my 21st actually, That was a fun night. I wouldn't do that again, mind you. I would not do that again. Ah, another rock fan. Hiya, Debbie. Okay, so they're starting to take shape. So with the rock, I'm talking of the rock, we're going to do some greys and browns mixed in, but this kind of brown, the Toledo brown. So I might do a little bit of that first. So let's put some Toledo brown there. And as I said, I've got, my Toledo brown has got a big split down it. I might get an extra one. I don't know if you can see that. There's that a split down my Toledo. It's all the way down, sort of down the middle. It's kind of in half. You can still use it. Okay, so we're going to get some water on that and mix that up. And I'll show you how I mix it every time, just so in case anyone is a newbie like me with watercolours. I don't class myself as anything other than that. I'm just going to start to put a little bit of that tone in. So you can have some like watered down. And I'm just going to spread it out a little bit. So just get some brown tones on there. We're going to mix some greys in. But I want it quite watered down. So, I'm just going to add some extras in. And then if you want to get some water, but not too much, wipe some off on your brush. I'm just going to add a little bit extra in. And then I'll show you start to add greys. But this sort of matches in, and then we'll mix greys in to that brown. So let's do some of that rock, and then we'll do some of the greens here. They're going to be a bit more of a vivid green. I know, it's funny though, because then, you know, 21, I'll tell the guys and girls what we did for my 21st. Okay, so my 21st, I decided to get all the girls together that we used to go to school with and have one big, like, massive, huge night. We did karaoke, we had a stripper, and it wasn't like a CD, it was just fun. And you only do it once, and I honestly would not do that for like hen night. I would like to go to a spa or something for that. But we just thought, you know, we were young, why not? Let's just do one big, huge bash. So we did it at a flat that I rented before we moved here. It was in like a little studio flat. All the girls, we all did a mass sleepover on the floor, and we just had one huge night of fun. And that was a great night. And it was a good way to get all this, you know, the girls from school together. And yeah, that was before people started having children and settling down, and we just thought, let's have one big blast. We got karaoke, we had just like inflatable chairs and inflatable microphones, and we, you know, music and drinks and food, and we just had a great night. It was so much fun, and that was a blast. But now I would not do that because, you know, as time goes on, my taste has changed. I would just have something so toned down. I would do like a spa with like a bottle of wine with friends and pamper sessions. That would be now. But then I'm glad we did it, because I wouldn't do it now, so I can at least say we did it then. And that was my 21st, and it was great fun at the time. No, everything was carefree. It was such a carefree night, you know. And is there anything, those of you in chat, that you probably did when you were younger, like, you know, party wise, that you wouldn't particularly do now? You wouldn't do it now. You know, times have moved on, and you just think, I would never do that. So I'm just going to get some grey. So we're going to get a couple of greys. We'll go for a dark grey. This one, it was full of giggles, and that's a good thing. Okay, let's go for a light grey as well. Let's mix in, and if we want to do some extra shadows, we'll put some charcoal grey. So we're going to go for these three and that on the rock. Okay, So let's grab those. So we've got light grey, dark grey. Let's go for some light grey, dark grey. Okay, and charcoal grey. Is that chips on? So funny. Okay, so I'm going to go on the opposite side now. Just 1 second. Bear with me. I'm just going to wipe this off a second. Shit. Oh no, Shannon is on it. Mine is just one of them and it's my usual Saturday, so you can't, you know, that's the good thing. Okay, so I'm going to put some light grey down. We're going to put some dark grey down. And I'm going to put a tiny bit of the charcoal grey at the top because that would just be for shadows. I think I might need a little bit more of the light grey, so let's put a bit more. Okay, let's start off with light and then we'll work our way up. There we go. Heather, is Ian still doing his diamond painting? Have you managed to keep him occupied with it? Okay, let me bring you down a little bit there. Is that still in your screens? Let's put that like that. Okay, so I'm just going to place in some light grey, just not perfectly at the moment. Let's just fill our spaces in because we can always add a layer on top, and that's the good thing with this, you can kind of mix it all in together. And what other crafts have you been up to for those of you that are crafty? Have you been knitting? Have you been crocheting? Have you been up to anything? Diamond painting? Are you learning a new craft? Are you baking? What are you keeping your days occupied with? Even if you've got children at home, you know, are you getting them involved with some things? Are you learning new stuff with them? Have you kind of convinced them to join you in colouring? What are you all up to? Hello, how are you doing, Kathy? And those that are coming in, oh nice, he's doing the white owls. Hi Sing, hi everyone coming on in. Are we at Saturday? Yes we are. How funny, you are questioning your days because Andrew's home. It's just, what is going on? Pamela, I know, I've been the same, to be honest. The colouring I'm doing is on streams, to be fair. I haven't coloured in my own time yet at all. I've been doing diamond painting. I've been enjoying them because there's no thought behind it. I'm just kind of placing little diamonds onto a canvas and I'm loving that. That's just what I need right now. I just don't know what's going on. I really don't. Okay, Kenny. I honestly do not know what day it is. Okay, let's put some dark grey and I'm just going to go underneath. It's so bizarre. It's such a weird time. You're all sort of discombobulated and you don't know what's going on and dearie me, you're just kind of all over the place at the moment. Okay, let's get some water and sort of try not to oversaturate the page though. When I say bring water, I'm only bringing a little bit down. You're doing a lot of colouring. Nice, you're doing your own art. You've got your kids to colour with you. No, not a lot of water, little amount of water. So that's why I'm not using a water brush on my one. is because if I did, this would be buckling like mad because it's not made for watercolor. However, you can use a water brush, but just try not to have one that leaks a lot of water out. Some of them do. I mean, the Pentel ones I had no water coming out of. The Derwent one I had too much water coming out of, and the Arteza ones are pretty good. It's finding the right one, but the perfect thing is to have something that you can control the water with. So, right, when I mean my charcoal grey, I'm going to get a little bit of it from the top, and I'm just going to place where she would shadow and sort of bring out a little bit of detail there. So just again, the charcoal grey is quite dark, so just bring enough to shadow like the dress. The dress would naturally cast a little bit because she's obviously looking at the sun, you know, in this direction here, coming this way. So she would shadow, as would this little fella here behind the towel, and as would this little fella here. So just like enough casting on the rock where you can notice it but not have it drowned with like black or anything, because black would just be too much. And then you can kind of just place a little bit of sort of like rough texture in some areas. And then there's like a, I don't know if you can see that, it's like a little bump, so we're just going to kind of follow that a little bit and add a tiny bit of texture on there. You just got the Derwents, nice. Yeah, I think we're all finding things that are helping and things that aren't. I mean, personally, because my routine before entailed colouring, I'm trying to get that back. So I'm better now. Like in the beginning when this all kicked off, your mind wasn't on anything, was it? You know? And now it's like kind of getting into getting into new routines with your family, and I think that's a lot easier now to sort of focus on stuff. Okay, let's go for some dark grey and light greys. And let's just kind of put in some textures. And this side of the rock is going to be a bit darker. Let's get some light grey. Has anyone watched the new Charlie's Angels? I've also got that I really want to watch. Oh, and I started Frozen, but again, I couldn't concentrate on anything, so I've got to finish that. But I've watched half, and the music in it is amazing. So if you're a Disney fan, Frozen fan, and you've not seen the second one, I don't think you're going to be disappointed. The music is just amazing, stunningly amazing. It is getting a little bit easier because we're getting into a routine. Absolutely, Kathy, absolutely. Okay, so again, I'm going to come to just the light grey, and I'm going to put that on the rock. Now, I'm going to mind all that little greenery part because I don't want to mess that up. So get some more water on it. And just apply a little bit more. Let's get some water in there. It's probably a bit too much. You can lift that off, which is a good thing. Just lift. And that's, you know, people think is permanent. Watercolor does lift off the paper if you do it with a dry brush. Get some water, dampen it off slightly, and then lift. And just keep doing that same motion until you've got it. Okay, so just with the light grey for a moment until I put some extra textures in. And the rock will be slightly textured, but it's starting to look a little bit more. Okay. It was, oh, you did it on Hangouts. How amazing. Oh, I'm missing some of the chat. Let me go up a little bit. Yes, I'm going to show my ones that I've just bought. So did you want to see them? Let me show you. Okay, so those of you, yeah, I haven't got them yet. Let me show you. So I ordered, oh my God, don't laugh. So, oh, thank you, Sue. Okay, I'm just going to turn that down. So I ordered these for my birthday. Okay, so it's a diamond drill, the unicorn diamond drill pen, the Into the Wonderland, I don't know if you can see that, Found Love in a Frosty Place, the Ice Princess 2nd edition, and the Brave one. So they're what I've ordered. So there's 4 of them. That one is a Mandy Manzano, the Ice Princess is Hannah Carlson, that's Mandy Manzano, and that's Jojo's art. So yeah, and then the pen with a multi-placer. So that is what I ordered. I don't even care. That was, bless your hearts, what I ordered with birthday money. That is what I did. Thank you. I needed one as well, Lou. So I got one. It came in stock and I was like, gotta get it. Oh my gosh. I have problems. Okay, so I'm going for some of the dark grey now. And that's good because it's actually dried off a bit. Yep, I am so excited. And then I've got the beautiful ones that Melody sent, which was the I Choose You, which I did the unboxings of if you haven't seen. And the Here Comes the Bride, Mandy Manzano. I'm going to be doing, after I've done the Alina one, which I'm doing at the moment. So if you pop on over to my Instagram, I've put a little snippet of the one that I'm doing at the moment. And then I'm going to be doing the I Choose You. Question for people who do diamond paintings: do you work on more than one? And if you do, how many storage containers have you actually bought? I'm contemplating buying some more storage pots, and I don't know if I need to or if I should just wait until I finish this one. But then I kind of want to work on a couple at the same time. I don't know. Oh, thank you. Yes, it was for my birthday. Yes, you have been in quarantine, and your quarantine was a lot more strict. Oh, yay. What are you doing on a canvas, Annabelle? Yeah, those of you in Spain, you were on strict lockdown, like super strict lockdown, which is good. It is good. Right, so he's bought more than one set? Okay, see, this is the thing I'm contemplating. And which sets do you buy? You know, usually did you buy the bead ones? Because you get quite a lot in those. I'm still umming and ahhing on which ones that I want to buy, or if I'm just going to wait until I finish my Alina one. But I really want to work on the I Choose You. I'm so itching. You do one DP at a time, Corolla. And hi, Corolla, honey. Sorry, I didn't see you there. See, I'm kind of contemplating just sticking to the one, but I'm itching to start a Mandy Manzano one. It's calling me so bad. So bad. Yeah, see, I think I might get some more. That's terrible. I know, I have problems. What I did get is a bead mat to stop the little drill pot that I've got in my hand to keep sliding over the canvas, so it makes it just stick down so it doesn't move around. Perfect. You work on 2 at a time as well, Pamela. Ah, Laura, you're in Italy. So they're going to start relaxing it a little bit more as of the 4th of May. How have you been finding it? I know Italy and Spain had it really hard and my heart was in my mouth. And I know America's got it bad, etc. I won't go on about it too much. We'll keep it a happy place. But I hope that you're all, keeping a lot better. Hey Kimberly, how are you? How are you doing? And this is the lady which started it all off for me. Kimberly is completely to blame for getting me onto diamond paintings, because was it a year ago you sent that Disney one and you said to me I would like it, and you were completely right. Oh my god, what did you start? Oh, you were so right. It is such a relaxing hobby. Okay, let's get this. Okay, so her rock is getting there. I'm just going to add a little bit more of like a beige. So she's sitting on this gorgeous little sort of rock that's got a bit of brown, and let's put some beige in there, or like a moss, which is olive brown. Let's put some olive brown in there. Yeah, okay, Kimberly. Oh, you would like this, Sam. Oh, would I? Yes, you would. Here you go. What have you started? But to be fair, it is very addictive. So I am enjoying it immensely. Okay, I need olive brown, which I'm trying to find. Oh, I'm just going to show you the name of it because I can't find it, and it's harder to do with the cards with Neos, to be fair. So it's, I don't know if that's going to focus. There we go. Olive brown. Oh, Kimberly, have you on Instagram? I've put it on Instagram as well. Okay, so we're going to put a little bit more of that. Yeah, I've done that Disney one. I'm on a Lilina one, and there's going to be more in the works, which is, you know. Okay, so I'm just going to add a little bit of this into those greens, so it's like a little bit of a moss coloured rock. And I might use that to go in some of these before we put our greens. So it's olive brown, and it's quite watered down. And we've got to get some greens in on this in a minute. I'm just going to shout out the colours because I think with this it's so hard to be doing because I'm a lot of mixing, so I'm going to tell you what they are. Cards are so hard to do. It's fine with pencils, but I'm finding it hard to sort of juggle that unless it was an edited video. I think live it's easier for me to call them out. Okay, so I'm going to also put them in there. Yes! It's quite a lot of people that are into it. I was surprised. You know, I know last year is when we did it, but I'm surprised how many people actually do them. There is a whole community, and I've been watching, and it was fun. I was already a subscriber of Rachel Ray, but not of Miss Coffee, and Melody told me about them and to watch them, so I did, and that was interesting because now it's made me binge watch and now look up and want, and it's like a shopping list, but now I've also got a wedding that in the future that I need to save for, and it's like, oh my gosh, how do I juggle this? Do I unsubscribe to Diamond Art Club because they're going to send me all the features of what, you know, is new, and I can't be looking at all of that because I need to save, and it's just like a merry-go-round in my head. So that's going to be fun. Hey, Kimmy. So yeah, that's going to be a fun thing to do, isn't it? It's just to say no to things. Okay, let's go for moss green. And let's also go for a lighter green, which is grass green. And that's going to go at the top. yeah, it's going to be a fun time trying to juggle on what I need to be saving for and stuff. So, yeah. I personally don't, but that Disney one, I don't know if you heard, Kimberly, in my last stream, if you'd catched any of it. The Disney one will be going to a children's hospice when this is all over, because it would look nice on their walls. So it would look lovely. Oh, thank you. Okay, so I'm going to go in with those two colours, slightly with that nice tone of brown. And this is just the first layer. So I'm just going to go slightly in there. I don't know if you can see. I hope you can. I'm just going to go on this section here. Let's put that over that side. Yeah, it'll bring some light to those children's lives, I think. I think with those types of places they need... Right, I'm going to really water this down on the edge and just do like a... I don't know if you can hear Chip, he's snoring his head off. So I'm just going to bring some more water on my brush and drag some of that pigment down. Yeah, and then I'll send pictures of when they finally put it up. But I'm going to wait for this pandemic, obviously, because they're very sick and you can't go in there for now. But I'll get it framed and yeah, I'll send you pictures then. I'll put it up on Instagram anyway when it's donated over to the hospice. Okay, so I'm going to go for some of that moss green now. And again, I'm going to start to place in a little. And then we'll drag some of that pigment over. Oh, that one. So he's sitting on this like huge leaf on the underneath. Let's go for some of that. And we'll dry it off and layer up again. Let's go for a darker pigment on this little section of the leaf here. And again, let's heat gun for a second. Right, and then let's go for the lighter green and mix in on the edge of that olive brown. And I'm just going to place in some of that pigment and drag on the underneath. And again, dry that off. Oh, beer break. It's a set, and I'll put the links in the description after. They're just a set of small brushes, so like I'll show you. So they come like this in a set. There's another one here. And they're so handy. They are amazing. And they've got, because they're fine detailed one, and this is very intricate. So I will put them in the description once the stream is over. Give me about half an hour. I'll put all the links in. Okay, so we're going to go for that grass green. And let's brighten some of this up. And get some water and drag some of that pigment. And that's what I'm just going to keep going with, you know, until I've got the right tone. And then on the edge, if we go for that olive brown, and you can kind of just get that going a little bit with some water and mix some in. If you've got quite a bit of water on there, you can spread it out, but not saturate your page. And again, we're going to go for some of that grass green. Get some water, drag some of that pigment into that area. Wipe off, drag some down. Again, drag, get a little bit more. Drag down. And just keep going until you got your desired colour. Now, whilst that's drying, I need a little bit more of that moss brown, and let's go into these tiny little areas. You need a bit of pigment on your brush, and don't forget you have got that gorgeous colour already on there, so keep that olive brown and you want to see it. So you can just pick some pigment up and just literally drag some in. It's just a nice little loose way, not overly fussy, and just looks really nice when it's done. And see, when that starts to dry, it starts to look really, really, really nice. So also what we can do to bring some more pigment in is just get some of that raw umber at the side, and you can darken up some of that moss green into this like greeny brown. And what we're going to do on this leaf is just bring where he sits and where that little squirrel who's so cute sit, or is it chipmunk, just bring some of that pigment again and sort of just along the lines that's already provided. Just kind of bring those along as well. And then heat gun. Hi Andrea, how are you doing? Hi everyone that's coming in. I'm so sorry, I'm in my own little world today. Let's do that little gorgeous boy in russet, I think. It's like a russet tone. Okay, let's pull out a second. So far we've done the rock, we've done the leaves, and we've done 2 sunflowers. So we've they're almost matching. So what I'll do with this guy is I think I'll do him in a more orange, and he's going to be like the russet in the same sense. So bear with me. I am. I'm still in it. I'm still there. Okay, so we're going to get English red. And we're going to get some russets. So I'll show you the colours in a second. So this one is English red. And this one is saffron. It needs to focus. There we go. Saffron. So they're the 2 colours. And where's the russet gone? The russet should be here. Is that it? No. There it is. And russet, which is like a brown red. Hopefully you can see it. Hey, Monica. Okay, so we've got those gorgeous colours at the side, and we're going to come down to this little fella here. Let's turn this over here. Okay, right, this should be in your screen. Yeah. Okay, so we do all like final touches on another stream. This is just part 1. He does, Lozzie, he does, I think. Is your hearing back, Andrew?
Yes.
Yeah. He's alright. His nerves have stopped now. Okay, so we're going to come to this little guy. And this is the saffron. Okay, so we're going to come more into here. You've got to be so careful with this paper because it doesn't like too much water. So have a medium dry brush, just slightly damp. Okay, so just like a nice coating to start with. And just bring that sort of pigment down. Try not to go over the areas too much because we'll just layer up. Hey Donna! So we just hold on, let's come back a little bit. It's just a coating. And he's going to have more of a sort of lighter top of his head and keep with that nice tone. Let's dry that and then layer again. Oh, thank you, Monica. Oh, Donna, I hope you're okay. Okay. So again, let's come to saffron, but let's mix some of that Venetian red at the side. So just drag some of the pigment of both and saffron. So you see I'm just dragging both into each other so it mixes, but keeping a lot of that pigment there. And let's just bring some of that tone and sort of keep it down where you want the most shading. You can cover the whole area, but the bottom of it will be the most shaded. And we'll do that again here. So I want the front of him to have more pigment. So just brush off that and drag some of that pigment up, but you can see most of it's still there. Again, I want some of those to be strong. So let's go for the English red. We have the strong little spots. And his feet are going to have that, as is his little mouth. So it's going to have more of the Venetian red there. Okay, now let's come back to just saffron. Wipe off, drag some pigment down. You still need to have coverage, but obviously not as much. So I'm just going to bring some of that pigment across. And you can do this with any watercolor palettes that you might got. You might have Supras, you might have Artesian watercolors. You can do it with those. Yes, Monica, we're just doing watercolor just at the moment. We'll put details, extra details in with some pencils. But for now, we're just going to do the majority with watercolor. Okay, let's come to our mix and add a little bit more of the English red into there. And let's get those little feet again. See, as I said, if you dry off, you can layer up. But you got to remember to try and not scrub your paper. If you scrub into your paper, you're going to make your paper rip. And I've done that in the past, believe me. So let's some of that English red, and we're going to do a little cheek that we're going to get some water. And have there. And again, I'm going to give him a little red foot. English red. And the same with the back, the markings. Let's have that. Just like that. Just like his little friend. Over on the other side. Okay, so dry that off, and then we're going to go much redder and add some Toledo brown and do his little squirrel friend. So, I'm going to add in, where is it? We're going to add in a little bit of brown. So, add in Toledo brown now into some of the mix. Let's make sure it focuses. Come on, come on. It's not listening. It's not listening. There we go. Toledo brown. And then I'm going to put that at the side of the English red. Just a small amount so that I can mix at the side. So drag the pigment and make that a bit darker. So now I'm going to now I'm going to pull that pigment in and do our first layer. That is just brilliant English for you. Put some more water on my brush and drag pigment all over, barring that middle bit. Okay, so it's English red and Toledo brown mixed really, really well. Okay, next I'm going to get some of my English red on its own, and I'm going to do the same. I'm going to drag some more pigment in. He's going to have a little bit more of a red top. Just again a little bit of water, a bit more red. My brush is not too saturated, and then I'm just going to drag a little bit of pigment into the top so that it keeps it nice and mixed. And again, I'm going to bring some pigment here, drag that along, and on the tops, like that. Again, dry off. I'm going to put some more water there. Hi, Barbara. Gonna now. I like that one. I'm terrible. I forget that I've said the word and I say it again. So my brain, I told you, my brain is not there, and that is fine. I'm good with that. Okay, back to English red. Tiny bit of water on the tip of the brush and drag some up. Dry off the brush and a little bit more. Same with the English red. Let's put some water at the side because I want the watery bit there. And with the other part, I'm just going to bring some more of that pigment in and drag slightly outwards. It doesn't oversaturate your page this way, and you still get a nice transition from light to dark. So if you wanted to add a little bit extra, you can go straight to your tip of your Neo and add in a bit that way, which is also a good way instead of using a load of pigment on your board. So if you just had a tiny bit of water on your brush and you wanted to additionally just put in some few stripes, rather than put it all over your board, just bring some here and it's a lot easier. To allow that cuteness to come to life. Okay, so he's got his colour and he's got his colour. He's got a white little front, and we can put any additional details in after. This little tiny bit here is his little horns, so I think I will bring in a little bit darker at the top into lighter. So for that, I'm going to bring in some Van Dyke brown and Toledo brown. So those two colours, I hope it will focus. Yep, it will. Toledo brown and Van Dyke brown. So Van Dyke brown is going to be at the top, which will be my first colour. So get some off of the tip of your Neo. And it's the little tiny antlers. Okay, so we're just going to bring a little bit at the very tops of these antlers in, just a touch. And then with your water, I've got no pigment, just water. I'm going to come upwards, so I'm not going to brush the pigment down, it's up, so that it keeps the rest of that antler nice and clear. Then I'm going to come for the Toledo brown and I'm going to mix some of that on the very edges of the other colour and just allow some of that pigment down as well. So just a touch, and I'm going to do that twice to build up some colour. So just on the tips and with the very, very damp brush. And watercolour's got that nice watery look, hasn't it? Okay, so back to Van Dyke Brown. Just a tip, and again on edging of each of those little bits on the antlers. So just teeny tiny. And then again, I'm going to bring some of the Toledo, and I'm going to go upwards, not downwards. So brush off your brush each time. So bring it up, up, up. And then with just water on your brush, you can bring some pigment down. So it keeps the top of it with the most and the least is at the bottom. Hey Katrina, how are you doing? So just let that dry. Right, his little ear needs to be black, but I'm not going to use black, I'm going to use charcoal grey. So where I've been holding my, look at my hands. As long as the ring's okay. Okay, so I'm going to bring some charcoal grey in. And I'm just going to deepen those up. We can do that with a pen or black pencil, like after. I need a bit more on there. Okay, so I'm just going to deepen that little ear and the little nails. There we go. And then you know that's going to be dry now, so I'm just going to put some of those stripes with my charcoal grey and allow that to just dry off. Or heat gun it. You're so funny, Lozzie. Okay, let's get a nice light green. So while we're waiting for that to dry, we'll come to these here. And we're going to use light olive, if that will focus. Hopefully it will. Let's do it that way. Let's do this hand. Light olive. There we go. And let's move that a second. So I'm not going to do on the board. I'm going to come straight to the tip and drag some pigment off that from the tip. Just get it going. And I'm just going to put it onto here for a second, just very lightly, because this is always my first lay down of colour. And we're going to build up on the board. So just enough to kind of just coat those leaves and then down the middle. So again, we'll just come over those leaves and we'll put in some lighter green. Okay, so it's just coating it, quite literally. So let's go for chromium green oxide or oxide green. And I'm going to bring some on the board. And I'm just going to get that going. And start to place in. I just need a bit more. Because I'm going to go over these types of flowers, these types of leaves with these greens. So a light olive coating. Bring in some of this chromium green. We can still layer up, and that's a good thing. Like, we're starting the process, and then I think that's what I'm going to do, because it's what I would do if I took my time off stream. I would layer and layer rather than keep it just as a flat tone. although it's coming out, you know, okay. So let's get some of that light olive at the side, and I'm just going to mix a touch of that in with that together, and that creates this really nice light olive. And I think I'm going to go down the other side, so the opposing side to where I've just put the chromium green, so it shows both and it mixes both. And as I said, the good thing with watercolor, if you're scared, like a few of you, I know you haven't got the confidence yet, but confidence comes with time. Sometimes you just have to dive in, and you don't have to have everything like controlled. You can be a bit more free and a bit more loose, and it does give that really nice watered color sort of feel, especially when you look at something, you know immediately if it's been done with watercolor, because it's not as it's just loose. It's got that loose feel. It's got that where the colors run and kind of merge into each other. So I really like those colors together. And then with any other ones that you want to go a bit lighter, what we'll do, so we've got all these little bits here, I'm just going to grab my grass green and let's get some off the side. It won't even start. I have to get it on there. I'm just going to get it on the side, and I'm literally just going to dot in some of that colour, just sort of like that. It's got some dotted feel around it, and you can do that on your grasses as well, so you can start to bring in a little bit of a green. And if you want to come into your rock, you can just bring in some additional strands. And if you wanted to bring some more, like, you know, feel, just get those different greens and just dot them in to give a bit more of a fuller feel behind it. So you can just add a little bit more in. Thank you. Hi Sue, how are you doing? So just dot them in, and then when they're dry you can add on them, or you can get a textured sponge. And that's another thing I learned. So if you get a washing up sponge and you've got some texture, add some texture just with like applying with one of these. If you had some, you know, some more pigment on there, so you can add some pigment onto your brush and then onto there, and you can dab it and put some additional texture in the background. There's so many ways to add texture, and you can build it up. So just what you can do to kind of add and keep layering in. Okay, so I'm just going to get some of my olive on the side, and I'm just going to add a little bit extra, and I'm going to heat gun in a second. Let's add some into there. Okay. Right, so all those sunflowers will be in the same, as I said, all the detailing I'll do with you anyway. I'm not going to be doing that in my own time. A washing up sponge. A washing up sponge. It puts texture in the background so quickly. So if you have more pigment down, let that dry. So say I've just put, okay, let's get some grass green. You need some wet on your sponge, not a lot, just dab it in there a little and just add it on. Now I just need a piece of card so I can show you. Where did I put that one? Let's do it on one of these. Okay. Let's just show you. So if you had a background and you wanted to add a bit of textured, you know, it could be light to start with, and then you would build it up. So you can build and build on things with a bit of sponge, and when it dries off you can add more, and it just adds some texture. You can dab off And you can have something so simple and well, it's not showing you the true colour, but you can add and add and add. And the good thing is say you had a tree and you did that in the background, that would look so effective. And you can keep going. You could add like some more onto it, and there's always texture with a sponge, always, and you can just keep adding and adding and adding, and you'll get this like green, and you keep going. There's always ways to do it, and the less you have, the less you get on there. The more you have, the more you, it just is such an effective, easy way to do it. So if you added more, you only need to get the corner of your sponge, and it soaks all that pigment up, and you just add some texture into that back. So you know you can always add on top with some colored pencil, but it gives you a starting point so that it's got your green started in the background slightly, and it could even get your bottom started. I'm only doing a little bit because I don't want to oversaturate my page for now. If I did more, then I'd be doing all the details, but it's just giving you an idea how to block in some color to start with, and then when we come back we can start to build on it. But for now it's kind of giving you a starting point, and then if you wanted to add any like additional bits, say you've got a darker moss green, you can then sort of dab in some extra bits at the back. It's so free to do what you want. It's lovely. And then let's get that on there. You know, you can, that's the good thing with watercolor, it's just very free. It's so free to just kind of practice and mess around with and have fun with. It's like, you know, when you're a kid and you just don't have a thought in the world and you put colour down, it reminds me of that. Yeah, it is so old school. And the thing is, you can do like a tree. Say you had a tree, you've done your tree, you know, you've done your branches, or I'm not doing this for real, and you did that sponge on top and you kept adding, and you did a really nice dark thick, you know, beautiful tree green. It works every time. It works every time. Okay, let's add a little bit of brown into that green. It does work every time, and that's the good thing about it. I love it. I'm just going to add a little bit more into these leaves at the side. And I will finish off. So the way I did those is how I'm going to, as I will do all the details, and we'll do anything that I've not done on the next stream. But I'm going to finish off the sunflowers in the exact same way, and then I'll leave it there so that when I come back it's all going to be what's new. But it's a nice way of doing it. Okay, let's add. And then if you wanted to build on those sunflowers, so if you come up, if you wanted to add a little bit more yellow into there, or add like, so this is golden ochre. You're at that point where you can layer because it's dry, so you could add a bit more depth into them. You don't have to come back with colour pencil. So it's totally up to you how you want to work it, but you can just keep layering up a little bit. Just make that colour a little bit more vivid. Keep the oranges in the centre. And just layer up. And that's the beauty of this picture. And it just looks watercolory, which is what I like. And we'll do the background, how the opposite side looks like. So that is the beauty of this, is you just keep going until you're happy with it. And make sure that in between application it is dry. If you don't have a lot of water on your brush, it will naturally dry by the time you get round, because you've not saturated the page. And as I said, that is a key. With this type of book, you can't. Oh, what did you get, Emily? Sorry, I missed it. What did you buy? Share the joy for me. What have you been eyeing and oogling that you've finally bought? Okay, so let's add a little bit more in. Okay, so they're really nice greens. So if I bring it up a little bit, you'll see the sunflowers. So this is the original at the side. So we're kind of replicating a little bit like that, especially with the little friends on that side of those colours as well. So we'll work on it bit by bit. Oh, nice, Emily. You'll love them. They're so amazing. They were the first ones that I fell in love with completely, was my polys. They're just so amazing. You'll love them. Okay, so I think that is, because I've been on 2 hours already, has that gone so quick? But I think that's it for today. I'll finish off the sunflowers in the same manner, and then we'll come back and we'll do the girl, we'll do all the details, we'll do the grass and the background. I think that's how we'll do it. But yeah, I absolutely love this picture. It just reminds me of sun. It reminds me of summer and spring and everything just beautiful in the garden. So that is what we're going to leave it with today. So again, it's going to be the same amount on all of it. I just needed something nice and free and easy, and this is exactly the type of picture that I like. So thank you so much again, everyone, for your congratulations. That was so amazing, and yes, I can finally say it. So I should be here on Tuesday. If not, I'll let you know, but I should be absolutely fine for Tuesday, my normal time. But make sure that you keep yourself safe and you are occupied and happy. Thank you so much. So take care, everyone. And I will see you in others. I'm sure many people are streaming, so I hope to see you on another stream. Take care, everyone. Bye for now.